Hey guys, welcome back to Easeldoesitstudio. So I'm going to do what I was supposed to do in the last video. So we're going to do a bloom, but I'm going to do it a little different than I normally do it. I mixed up another 6 ounces. I made sure I had A and B. I triple checked. I'm like, I don't know what my brain was thinking yesterday. Obviously it wasn't. And I know yesterday, when I had originally tried it, I had mixed up way too much color. So I'm going to use these little medicine cups. And that should be more than enough. All right, so we're going to just set this aside. Now I have in here almost 4.5, like 4.25, almost just 4. So there's an ounce between these. So I am going to mix some color in, and I'm going to use the same color scheme that I did yesterday in hopes that it works this time. This one seems like it's got the most, so we're going to do this one in the red. And I do want this to be opaque. So I don't know if these blooms are going to work or not, which isn't a problem as long as they cure. And I was going to run them through the debubbler, but because I need to let them warm up anyways, I'm not going to run them through the debubbler because they're going to degas. This is the Bond Craftor 1-to-1 resin, and I need a little bit more color in there. It degases really good on its own. So if any of you guys are new and you don't have, a debubbler or whatever, and you can't afford one, don't stress. Mix your resin, mix it slowly, and then let it sit for 10 or 15 minutes. And it will degas on its own. All right, that is a little bit better. All right, so I'm going to wipe this stick, and then we're going to mix our pink. And in the pink, I'm going to add a little bit of white mica powder as well, because I do want to lighten the color. And that's quite a bit. Hopefully I didn't make it too heavy, but we'll see. All right, so that should give us a little bit lighter pink. And just make sure you mix in all of your mica powders. I was gonna do the alcohol and then I forgot, and yeah, so it is what it is. It still mixes in. The micas mix in really, really good. And we're going to back this in a green. And I'm going to do the edges of these molds here in just a minute, because I like doing the blooms, but I also like, I like coasters that have a lip, because to me, I don't know, it doesn't seem like a coaster if it doesn't have a lip to, hold the moisture from your dripping cup. And this is just the Let's Resin Ocean White. I use this white pigment for all my white pigments. I think that's the only white I have as far as like a pigment paste, so. And I do want this pretty much opaque as well. So normally you would drip your alcohol inks in. We're not doing it that way. And I'm just going to wipe the pigment paste off my stick. Because see how all that's all that pigment paste. So you want to make sure this is all blended in as well. Because if not, you're going to have some unpretty spots. All right. So we've got that. Just going to give them a spritz of alcohol. Now I'm going to take my fluffy brush that I used yesterday. And where's my green? Right here. So this is the green, it's the dark ocean green. And all I want to do is color the sides. And then I'll clean this part up. That way, the clear isn't going to show clear, but the bloom is going to show. Now, I've never, never done it this way, where I colored some of the mold, but I figured why not, right? So we're just going to make sure that that's covered and that little groove down in there is covered. So I'm just going around and I'm holding it up on the sides. So I'm hoping there's not a ton that, gets on the part that I don't want it on. All right, and then we'll clean that off after. And I hope I cleaned these really well, because these are the ones that I had to dump the uncured resin out of. So yeah, if you didn't see the last video before this one, go back and check it out if you want to see what happens when you mix 2 part A's together or 2 part B's together instead of an A and a B. When you're having an old lady moment. That's what I'm blaming it on. Yeah, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Okay, let me get a paper towel and I'm just going to wet the corner of it with some alcohol. And then very carefully go up to the edge without touching the sides. And then if you can move your hang on, I just okay. I'll just wet another clean corner and get the rest of this. All right, and we'll do the same on this. Find another clean spot. And we will just make sure that we have everything cleaned up. And I got a hair in there. Come on. get it? I think I got it. All right. And I'm just going to wipe the extra alcohol off. All right. So those are looking good. Ooh. Are you kidding me? Here we go, guys. Here we go. All right. Let me get my heat gun so we can tell. Now, yesterday I had divided this up into 2 equal cups. I'm not going to today. All right, so we're at 82. And these are gonna, you know, be a little bit longer, but that's fine. So I'm gonna let this sit for, I don't know, like 10 minutes or so. I want it to get to about 100. I want it to have a little bit more time. Usually we let it go to like 133, 134. I'm gonna start it at like 100 to 110. If I can, you know, hopefully I can catch it in that temperature. I'm just trying to get this wet glove off here. And then we're going to pour the clear, and then I'm not piping these. I'm going to use my stick, and we're going to just put it in. And I'm hoping to get like a rose pattern is what I'm hoping for. So I don't know. We will see. So I will be back when this gets a little bit warmer. So we're at about 81. And once I can start feeling it get warm on the sides, I'm going to pour it. Because I know people have been doing it with the tabletop resin because it's a thicker resin and they're not waiting any time. So that was my other thing. Do I just try doing it without waiting? I don't know. But because I didn't debubble it, there are some micro bubbles in there. You know what? I'm gonna these ones I know will completely debubble. This on the other hand might not. So I'm just gonna take some out, and actually I gotta restir this. Because I don't remember if I stirred it once after I got done mixing. So we're just gonna and I'm gonna run this, I'll just run this one through the debubbler real quick. I'll give it like 7 minutes. It's already getting warm, so I know it's not gonna take that long. It's 84 now. So I will be right back, guys. Okay, so it's been like 12, 13 minutes. So I'm gonna stick my gloves back on here. And I can feel it being warm. All right, so it's 112, that's good. And yeah, those are in the 80s, so that's gonna be fine. All right, I just wanted to do it when it was less than the normal. I wanted to see, because it's, you know, it is a thicker resin. And I'm going to try to get so it's up over that And I'm going to put a little bit more than I did yesterday. And then maybe I don't have to do an extra. Well, I'll still have to do an extra because I'll have those, but I want to make sure that it is deep enough. All right, those look about even. All right, so you can see there's a few bubbles down in here. I want to get those dislodged before I start. So you just got to be easy that you don't, you know, dig up your colored areas. And I'm just gonna go around and hope I'm not screwing it up. Oh. All right, let's give that a squirt. Oh, wow. All right, now we got to get these bigger bubbles up. And I got something red here. I'm going to try to... Oh, I got it. This one doesn't look like it has as many clinging to the bottom as the other one did. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a stick and we are going to start with the red. I'm going to do one at a time here. And I'm going to try to make sure that it's centered. You can see where that inner circle is. And we're just going to kind of drag that around without leaving like heavy clump areas. If it's too thick, then I'm just going to go through and pull it again. And we're just gonna keep going. And then I'm gonna put that pink we'll lay the pink, and then we're gonna, and that's a little too thick, so I'm just gonna pull that. And we can have some thick, you know, some thin. I kind of merged those all together, and I didn't want to do that. So we will make sure we space this next row out. Like I said, I don't know if this is even going to work. If, you know, if it don't, we'll stick a sticker on it. As long as it cures, I can do something with it. And I mean, on the sides here, it's not really gonna show, but it's gonna pull in. So that's why I'm trying to get them out, you know, to the edges. And then we're just gonna add a little bit of pink. Because I was like, when I did them yesterday, I was like, why are these not even attempting to move? I mean, it should have been doing something, which should have been my first clue that I screwed up something. But I carried on. So I'm hoping by adding these colors, we'll get some dark and light red, or it will look like more of a natural highlight, is kind of what I'm hoping. And if I feel like I put it on too thick in one spot, I'm just going back over and pulling it again. Because if you have a heavy spot, it will make a blob. And I don't like blobs. Some people do. I personally don't. It makes me feel like my project is not right. All right. So we're going to wipe this stick. And that's why I say I knew I would have extra colors. And I'm just going to do the same with the white. And I do want to pull that more. There we go. So this color here might get a little tainted, which is fine. And if you didn't want it, the colors mixed, you could totally just wipe your stick off each time. But we're just gonna roll with it. And I am gonna put some of these a little thicker than others, which will give our petals hopefully a little bit more dimension. You know, some will be more wispy than others, hopefully. I don't know. Like I said, I don't even know if this is gonna work. Oh, no, that's too thick. So I'm gonna just pull that out. Because if it's too thick, it's just gonna float to the bottom. And I am definitely not gonna like it. And this white is already pretty opaque, so you definitely gotta make sure that you're not leaving big clumpy areas. And I'm going right close to the edge because I know this is going to pull in. All right, so we're gonna just move this aside and hopefully it will do something while we're doing this one. I am going to pull, I wasn't gonna, but I think just to give it a little bit more movement, I'm just going to pull in some of these. All right. There. We'll just leave that. And I am just going to spritz the top. And hopefully that will pull in and make something. All right. So let's go back to our red. And I think I'm going to space these ones out a little bit more, and then we will see if there's a difference. And then maybe this will kind of, we'll be able to maybe see the pink a little more. I don't know. Like I said, this is all trial and error. Well, at least it's blooming. It's doing something, guys. That's more than it did yesterday. I went in too much on that one. Yeah, so I actually got my bed stripped and changed. I got my comforter in the washer now, which is what I wanted to do all on Sunday. My son-in-law has been the same way. He was sick just before Christmas, and he's like every few days he feels like he's getting it again, and then the next day he's fine. So I'm hoping that I'm done with the stuffy noses and all that crud. All right, let's wipe this and we'll go in with the pink. See, that's blooming already. I'm hoping that we don't lose all the color though. I'd like to be able to see some of all the color. So that's kind of why this one here, I spaced it out a little bit further. And this will give us, you know, we'll be able to tell when the pieces are done if it made a difference. Or if it's still just gonna, you know, blend in together, because that's what resin does. It just kind of pulls to the middle. But I was hoping by doing it this way, we could get like a little bit of variation in the color of the flowers. And I know I'm off center with this one a little bit. Now this one side is blooming better than the other side. Look at that. I got a beautiful bloom on this side and that one's not doing anything. What is going on? I mean, I did the same thing. All right, now we'll do the white. I don't know, maybe it's too much color. I don't know. We'll find out. If I don't like it, oh, I can put a sticker. I got some new stickers coming tomorrow. All right. All right. Just give that a spritz. Yeah, I don't know why one side is blooming and the other side is not. All right, so I've got my little axolotl, and I want to, I'm just going to do like a kind of a dirty pour. I should have enough to do him. All right. And because there was a little bit of clear, I'm just going to mix that. And then we will pour some white. And some pink. Some red. Oops. Some white. Some pink. And we'll just put the rest of the red. rest of the white. And the rest of the pink. Ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough because I ended up putting more in my coasters. If we don't, we will just pour the bottom half in green because we're gonna put another layer on that in green. So we'll have an axolotl that will match. All right. Oh, got a hair or something on my finger. And oh, you know what? Hang on. I've still got I still have this. All right, what we're gonna do, oh, we're just gonna put some red in there. See how thick that's getting? And we'll see how he comes out. Oh. I'm just trying to, it's got a little bit of the alcohol still on the toes, so I'm trying to sop that up. All right. Well, they're at least blooming, guys. Again, this one's doing it on one side versus the other, so I'm just gonna spin it around. I don't know if it's my table or what. We will see. And I was gonna say I should have enough to do this little guy because I did him yesterday. Look how thick that is. because this Bond Craftor sets up much quicker. And that's one of the other reasons that I love this resin, because it doesn't take, you know, a full 24 hours. So I will probably come back down and I don't know, like 6 hours or so. And they should be firm enough to, and I'm not gonna worry about that little bit, because if I start trying to get too scrapey, I'm just gonna make a mess. All right. And I'm not gonna put these in the curing machine until we get the back color on. And then I'll put them in the curing machine to like finish them up. So yeah, we're just gonna leave these and see what happens. And then we will back them in green. This is the green. I'm gonna use the same green. And I'm probably only gonna make an ounce, because they are, you know, they're pretty close to the edge. So I will do that, and then we will be back. But they are at least blooming. This doesn't look like it's gonna bloom, but we're just gonna let it go and see what happens. And I'm just gonna try to coax that a little bit. All right, I'm gonna leave it alone before I mess it up. Okay, so I will be back in a little bit and we will get the back coat on there. All right, bye-bye. Okay, guys, so they're not looking very promising. You can't really see on the other side, but you can see they bloomed on one side, but not on the other. It probably was because of the temperature. But we're gonna fill it and we're gonna see what it looks like. Could be my color choices, who knows? So I've just got the Resiners 1-to-1 epoxy resin. That's what I'm using for the top coat. I've just mixed up 2 ounces, and honestly, I think it's probably gonna be too much, but we will see. And if it is, we will find something to put it in. All right, so let's just get a scoop of that in there. That should be enough because it's only 2 ounces. And I'm not going to run this through the debubbler because it's so thin. It should debubble really well on its own. But look at how pretty that green is. And I do have discount codes in the description below if anybody needs any of these products. I'm gonna look and see if I can find these coasters. I believe these ones came with a like a coaster holder. I'm gonna see if I can find them. I got them a long time ago, so I might not be able to, but we will see. All right. And that looks like it's mixed in pretty good. All right. And like I said, this part is gonna be really quick because it's basically just pouring, and then we're gonna go back to waiting. Wow, I think we're gonna have just enough, guys, to make them domed. Oh, this one might be running over a little bit. All right. Put just a little too much. So we're just gonna, let's just scoop a little bit out. I do want them domed, but I also don't want them running out. See, I'll just scoop out a few more little scoopies here. All right, I think this one is fine. And this one is borderlining. All right, I'm just gonna clean up some of this. So I'm using the paper towel so that there's no wet anything for it to like flow over where the resin had already started to flow over. So okay, so that is looking good. And like I said, if the blooms don't come out, maybe I'll do a hand-painted bloom in there. And we have maybe a ½ ounce. So, let me see. What do I have that's little? Let's see. Maybe we'll do some of the little baby butterflies and maybe a couple of the turtles. Oh, that's what I didn't want to do. Oh, you can hear Sophie up there with her bone. I wasn't even going to come on and pour, but I was like, no. I said I was gonna, so that way there you guys can see the whole process. Hey, at least the bloom's cured this time. Oh. I think I have another one of these turtle molds somewhere. I do want them like a little bit domed, not much. All right, and I mean, these are like so little. I mean, it's like a drop and a half in each one. But they come out good every time. So these would actually be good embellishments to add like to different projects. I just haven't figured out what yet. And just to let you guys know, my hands are broke out. I did 2 resin projects in a row, and I've got like little water blisters all over my hands. So I know I can't go back to doing resin every day as much as I want to, but I'm still gonna try to do like 3 a week. That's kind of my, let's see. We might have enough to do this flower. And I believe this flower here is, it's a shiny one. So, all right, and let me see here. Let's do one of these little angels. Let's see. We might have enough to do 2. I don't know. Because if you scrape your cups, you can get quite a bit. And most of these come out good. There's one in particular that doesn't come out the greatest, but we will see. Let's see. I'll try this one, see if we can scrape enough. Because I really didn't think we had enough for one of the bigger ones, so. we're gonna try it. I'm getting like little drops at a time. Yeah, I think we're gonna have enough for this one. I think this is the one that I have a little bit of a hard time right in there, that little I just want to make sure that we're getting resin everywhere. Because there's a lot of like little indentions on these little boogers. I would like to get a set that's a little bit bigger than these. I think we're gonna need that little drop right there. All right, that pretty much cleans that up. All right, so we're gonna just let these cure. And I will be back in the morning and see if we have a disaster or not. Alrighty, guys. See you in a bit. Okay, guys. These are all dry. Well, cured. So let's just see what our extra is. I know these come out good every time. Cute little flower. And so these come out good if you use resin. If you use like mix to mold, they don't come out quite as good. So I do want to make a bunch of these in like different colors, like pinks and whites, so that we can add them, you know, onto things to embellish. It's just sitting there, little one. And for some reason, I'm not able to connect to my TV. So if I go out of frame, I apologize in advance. I did kind of screenshot where I need to be. All right, let's move those out of the way. And let's just get our turtles out, because these always come out good. Look at that. Just cute little turtles. And our little butterflies. And I'm not going to undo all of them because I got to find my cup to put them in. So, all right. Now to the main event. We're going to unmold both of them before I even look, because I'm not 100% certain that it worked. And yeah, I got mega overspill here. But if it doesn't, we will figure something out. All right, let me get my deburring tool and just get some of this overage off. And then I will put like cork bottom on the bottoms of these. But I still don't want any sharp edges. There we go. And this one's barely anything. So it does make a difference when you can really dome your products, or your molds, I should say, when you're pouring. All right, now, oh, okay, that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. A little bit blobby, but I can deal with that. It worked better than I thought it was going to. And this one not so much, but if you have this being like the, you know, the bottom, it does look like a flower. It just looks like there's something in here. It was a little blobby or something. But we did get some of the pink and some of the white. I definitely like this one better. But they're not too bad. I don't like this part. Well, I already had it in my brain that I was going to be doing something with them, but I guess I'm going to leave them be. Yeah, I think I'm just going to... Now, we do have like that faint line where that green wasn't quite as dark like as I wanted, but this one almost looks like a peacock type feathers. That's what I'm seeing anyways. You know, and this side bloomed good, this side didn't. So I don't know why one side bloomed and the other side didn't. And it did it on both pieces. So yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to revisit this and try something a little different. So yeah, I guess we're just going to leave it. It's not as bad as I thought. I don't 100% like them, but I don't like 100% dislike them. So, I don't know. I'm going to leave them, and we will just kind of see. If down the road I decide to change my mind, then I can just do something different. Because what I was going to do was paint this whole bottom and then hand paint roses in there, is what I was going to do. But they're not too bad. And I would do this one, but then they're not going to match. So I guess I'm going to leave them. This one almost looks like it's like a smushed flower. And I like that gob right there, but that's not too bad. I mean, we do have some depth in it. You know, the petals do look like they're raised. So, yeah. Alrighty, guys. Well, I guess that does it for this video. And I will see you on the next video. Bye, guys.